Hi. We're going to start using Packet Tracer this chapter. So I found that Packet Tracer sometimes can be a little confused and they don't quite get all the issues, things that could help them with future projects. So I thought I'd just give you a brief summary of how to use Packet Tracer, and what I'll use is the first lab, the Packet Tracer 211244. But before we do that, I got to make sure you understand how to install Packet Tracer. So let's log into the Netacad system. So I'll go to a new tab and go to Cisco. Now you should end up with a link, something like that. I'm going to log in. And of course, my stuff's already saved. And what I'm going to do is you should get that class. And then I want to go to the student view just so I see the same thing you see. And when you bring up your system, it should look something similar to this. So to get to where you find Packet Tracer, you want to go to Student Resources. And you scroll down a little bit, you'll see Download, Install Packet Tracer. I would definitely download and install the latest Packet Tracer. When you click on that link, it then lets you say, what I'm looking for is I want Packet Tracer 2.0. 7.2 there, I guess. And in this case, based on your computer, whether you've got a 32-bit, 64-bit, whatever the case may be, even if you have a Linux machine, you can download any one of these. So you're going to pick and choose that and follow the instructions how to install it. But that is what you're going to do to get Packet Tracer installed. So let me go back to our course. So follow the instructions, download Packet Tracer, install it, and you'll be good to go. Now, just to show you how some of the tricks of Packet Tracer is, so you're going to click on the link for Packet Tracer 1244. And the way I've got it set up, I mean, you don't see the grading summary when you applied it, but you still see these two different files. Now there's a Word document file which you're going to enter answers to questions, because Packet Tracer is going to, as you do in the lab, it's going to ask questions about what did you learn from the lab. In most cases, there are a few labs it's just watch and become familiar. But if there's something I want you to answer questions for, I want you to do that. So you can open that lab just so you have it right by while you're doing the lab, it's available to you. Hopefully my computer's fast enough that it'll actually do something quickly. Maybe a little bit quicker. But I'm hoping this video helps you understand a little bit of what Packet Tracer is and make it a little bit easier. Maybe I gotta, alright. You're going to enable the editing so you can edit the file. And if you just kind of scroll through, this diagram is pretty much what the Packet Tracer is going to open up when you first open it, and I'll show you that in a second. And then it gives you some background in the lab, and then it gives you step-by-step instructions it wants you to follow. But every now and then, you're going to get some parallel lines or some questions they're going to ask you. I want you to fill out, answer those questions, because that's one of the things you're going to submit. So, and you just kind of go through and answer. Now, in this lab, there's a challenge at the end. You don't have to do the challenge lab for those of you who are interested, but it is not part of the requirement for the assignment. So I'm just going to keep that aside. Now let's open up this PKA file. Now that's the Packet Tracer assignment file, and it's kind of a pre-configured, gets you kind of started on the lab. So let's open that, and I'm going to open it up with the packet tracer I just downloaded. I've got version 7.2, and I think that's the version I want to make sure you have the latest and greatest with. So when you down packet tracer, make sure it's 7.2. And it comes up, a nice little graphic. Give it a second to bring the lab up to speed. You're going to see that Packet Tracer gives you a couple of files. One, it asks for a user profile. I just cancel this. But what it did do is gave me a set of instructions that my computer is really slow today. So you got the same instructions in the Word document, so that way you can have them side by side. Now, in some cases, if this was a scored lab, and sometimes as you do things that the lab asks you for, you'll see a score off to the lower right-hand corner. And then as you do a task, it'll give you points for it. And if you're not sure why you got the points you did, or you can't quite get all the points, that's what this check results does. If you check results, in this case they've got it locked, but get back there. That's where if you wanted to know let me just kind of make sure that's always on top. That if you wanted to make sure how you were doing in the lab, what was right and wrong, if you hit check results, it would then give you an opportunity to see what items in the lab you didn't get correct. So I just thought I'd let you know. Now, this lab, since it's just getting you comfortable with Packet Tracer, it's going to ask you to do a lot of things. And one of the things it's going to say is, view the interface module, getting started, and tutorials. This is going to get you in the simulation model. So it's going to say in the real time and the runtime simulation modes. So down here you're going to see real time simulation. So toggle between the two. The screen changes. Adds another field back and forth. It brings up that event list. All the different things you can and can't do with Packet Tracer. Go back here. Allows you to toggle it back and forth. Now, so this lab is pretty much just follow through all the steps, just knowing where real-time simulation is, both the logical and the physical sections are. So it'll guide you through things. Now, one of the things you got to make sure of is I'm going to ask you to submit the results of your lab, your Packet Tracer lab. So, of course, to do that, you need to save this information. Now, you can do two things. You can do a save as and save it to your desktop, which I would probably recommend, not knowing if you're going to do the lab at home, in class, or in a class, in the computer lab. I'd save it to the desktop. But if you're working on your home computer and stuff, what you can do is you can set where you want the Packet Tracer files stored. So you can go to Options, Preferences. Let me slide, minimize you, get you out of the way since I don't care about it. Come on. My computer is so slow today. Well, then I'll slide you out of the way. Then you get Preferences, go to Administrative, and then down here, the User folder, you can pick and choose any folder, make a folder, but at least you can set where you want it. That way you know where to find it. Because I can't help you if you don't know where you found your file. So that's just an easy way of saving the information. So either save it to the desktop with a save as, save it to the desktop, or change the path. So you got two choices. So hopefully this little exercise gives you a little understanding as to some of the nuances that may not be covered in the lab. But if it doesn't help, send me a text, send me an email, stop by my office. I'll be more than willing to help and get you started on the right foot. Have a nice time. Bye-bye.